Hello, and welcome back to the Empower Her podcast. I'm so excited to talk to you guys today about a topic that I have gotten so many questions on, literally in my DMs, my clients, all the things, and that is, how are you staying regulated with everything going on in the world right now? Okay, so this is going to be a super practical episode. We're going to talk about hot girl energy hacks for the summer on how you can manage your energy despite everything that is going on in the world right now. Okay, this is hot girl summer. As Tink said, we are doing summer of outside. We are having fun. Hot girl summer. We're doing all the hacks so that we can see and feel and do our best, even though there's all these crazy things going on. And there's this phrase, I don't know who originally said it. I saw it on TikTok, and it was the ultimate form of resistance is joy. And that really spoke to me because despite everything that's going on in the world right now, being joyful is an act of resistance. It's saying that I understand, I'm still being informed, I'm still getting involved, potentially helping, supporting these situations, but I'm also going to have fun, okay? So the world is insane right now, okay? With the political climate, with the news, with the economy, with all of you telling me that on LinkedIn, everyone's always talking about layoffs, whatever your poison is, like, it's insane right now, okay? It really is. And I really want to acknowledge that. And I want to say that I understand that this is happening, and I don't want to come from a place of privilege saying, oh, we shouldn't worry about that things. We absolutely should worry about these things. The things that are happening are insane, and we do need to stand up for what's right, and we do need to put our support where it's needed. But at the same time, we also have to protect our peace as much as we can, right? And that'll depend on everyone. That'll depend on the given situation that you're in. So I do not take this lightly, but I just want to focus this episode on hot girl hacks and things we can do to really manage our energy. So a lot of you have been asking me, what do I do? How do you preserve your energy? And I get it. It is so overwhelming when you're seeing all these layoffs, you're seeing all these news articles. Like, how do you actually feel normal, right? Because after you're listening to all this, after you're hearing all this, it is completely normal to feel tired, to feel anxious, to feel distracted. Your nervous system is processing a lot of information. I actually saw a statistic that said that the average person today processes as much information in a single day as someone in the 15th century would have encountered in their entire lifetime. Okay, in a single day, we process more information than someone in the 15th century in their entire lifetime. That's insane. It's bananas. Of course, we're stressed out. We're burnt out. We're feeling all of these things, right? Social media, the internet has made it really hard for us to not see things in real time. And while, of course, there's so many benefits to that, our nervous system, our bodies have not caught up to that. They just haven't. So let's talk about practical shifts that are personally helping me, that are helping my clients, that I see are helping people. Okay. The first thing, and I'm going to say this till I'm blue in the face because I'm someone that would do this and I have since stopped and it has made a massive impact. And that is taking breaks from social media and taking breaks from doom scrolling. Okay. So I used to think that because I wouldn't be on my phone for the first half an hour after I woke up, that was great, right? Like, I would get up, I would do my morning routine, which would be like a breath work. I would get dressed, make the bed, have my lemon water, do all the things for like a half hour. Then I would sit down to have breakfast and I would scroll while I'm having breakfast. And I was like, that's great because I didn't touch my phone for half an hour when I woke up, right? So like, I didn't have that immediate sort of stimuli as soon as I woke up in the morning, but I was still getting it pretty early, and I was still getting it pretty early in the morning after waking up. So what I've done now is I do not scroll on my phone in the morning at all. So what I've been doing instead is because I'm home alone, in the mornings, typically during the week. My husband works, so it's not like I can like chat with him. I'm by myself. So I'll put on a podcast. I will put on a podcast. It's one that makes me feel good, one that makes me happy, whether it's, Girls Gotta Eat or Tinks or whoever. Like I put on something that makes me happy, brings me joy, and I listen to that podcast. And that's what I do. And that brings me a lot of joy. I'm not scrolling. I'm not doom scrolling. I'm not on Instagram. I'm not on TikTok. I'm not on any of those things. Okay. This has been a game changer because now what I'm doing is I'm saying, okay, I'm not going to invite that energy into my space in the morning. Instead, I'm going to decide where I want my energy to go. It's on something fun and exciting that will make me happy and bring me joy. And then later during the day, let's say during my lunch break or when I have 30 minutes, I'll sit down and say, okay, now I'm going to be intentional. Now I'm going to sit down and I am going to scroll with the intention of it being entertaining, with the intention of getting some information, perhaps, if that's what I want. But I'm going into it with the intention of positivity, of abundance. And because I'm in that headspace, then things don't trigger me as quickly, easily, because I'm already in a positive and abundant headspace. And if I see something I don't like, I see something that causes me anxiety, I can better regulate myself in that situation. This has been a really, really big game changer. And something else just to add to this is if you're sad, mad, upset, you should not be on social media, okay? Whatever feeling you're feeling, social media is just going to amplify it. Social media is just going to take what you're feeling and blow it up. So if you're upset, if you're angry, you're going to be even more upset and angry after scrolling. It's not going to actually help you. If you're feeling sad, mad, upset, angry, whatever it is, go on a walk, call a friend, eat a snack, drink some water, stretch. Those are the things you should be doing. We should only be on social media when we feel good, when we feel abundant, when we feel positive. Now, again, it's not toxic positivity. It's just you should be in a good headspace when you're scrolling social media. The next thing we should do, and this ties into the social media break, is turn off your notifications, okay? So I do not have TikTok notifications. Not that that would do anything because it's not like I'm an influencer and get a million notifications. I get some, but it's nothing crazy. But I turned off my LinkedIn notifications, which I didn't even think to do that because LinkedIn doesn't really give me anxiety in terms of like the doom scrolling. I don't really doom scroll. I get a lot of messages from people, notifications about my posts, things like that. But I always saw the little, number next to the LinkedIn app, like 7, 6, 8 notifications. And it would cause me stress. And I would feel like I would constantly need to be on and going into LinkedIn and checking what those notifications are. I turned them off, and let me tell you, it made such a difference. It made such a difference, okay? Such a difference. And this is what I want you to try, not just with LinkedIn, but whatever apps are causing you anxiety. If it's your news app, turn off your news app. You shouldn't be getting alerts on your phone of things that are going to cause you stress and anxiety, right? You should decide certain times of the day and say, okay, I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes on LinkedIn and see what's going on. I'm going to spend the next 20 minutes on my news apps or on, Instagram, looking at my favorite news creators and seeing what they're posting and get all my information. So it's not about not being informed. It's just about you deciding when you're in a headspace to get informed, right? That's what the difference is. Because if you're already upset, angry, anxious, whatever, and then you go turn on the news, it's just going to be even worse. Versus if you go in a regulated state and then you look at the news and then you get that information, you're going to have a totally different perspective on it, or be able to digest it in a more abundant way, or find a way to do it so it doesn't completely dysregulate you. So this is what I would recommend, is really anything that's non-essential, a non-essential notification, turn it off on your phone, okay? And then the next thing is, maybe I should have started with this, but it kind of all goes together with the phone, is do not start your day on your phone, okay? We already talked about turning your notifications off. We already talked about not doom scrolling, but do not start your day with your phone, okay? When you wake up in the morning, your brain is in a state that is very malleable, Meaning, anything you consume during the first 30 minutes or so after you wake up is going to be imprinted in your brain. That is going to set the tone of your day. Do you really want to set the tone of your day with LinkedIn doom scrolling and seeing all these layoffs, with the news talking about World War III and all these other things, about people commenting on your TikTok or Instagram nasty things? Like, is that what you want to see in the morning? Is that what you want to be the first thing that your brain gets to in the morning? No. What you should try to do, and what I recommend, is try to do nervous system and mindset work in the morning. Again, your brain is the most malleable during that time, which means anything you do is going to be extremely powerful and potent, right? So give yourself 30 minutes in the morning and do something for you. Have your phone on sleep mode. My phone is on sleep mode until 10 a.m. during the week. And I wake up way earlier than that, but it's on sleep mode so that I don't even get the notifications, even the my essential notifications, they don't pop up. So I don't feel that urge oh, I need to check my phone. Oh, I need to see what's going on. No, because it's on sleep mode. You can put it on do not disturb, whatever works for you. And then at night, I also do the same thing. So we can add this here is don't scroll or don't be on your phone the last half an hour before bed. I like to read before bed. My phone is on, sleep mode at 10 p.m. I usually go to sleep at 11:30. So from 10 there, I'm getting notifications on my phone and I'm not seeing what's popping up. And then it doesn't, I don't feel I have to check what these notifications are because I'm not seeing anything that's popping up. So I would really recommend just not starting your day with your phone at all. The next thing you can do is more grounding work. Again, especially in these unprecedented times where we're seeing all of this negativity, all of this insane shit happening all the time. Grounding is super helpful. Grounding is a form of nervous system regulation where you physically put yourself in nature. So this could be going on a walk, putting your feet in the sand or the grass, being outside in the sunshine, doing breath work, putting your feet on the ground, on the bare ground in your house, your apartment, cold showers, whatever helps for you. Pick something that works for you and try to do it every day, every other day, especially now that the weather is nice. I know not all of you enjoy summer, but it's an easier time to be outside and in the water for sure. So go to a park, a body of water, just sit on your balcony and enjoy the fresh air. Try to implement more grounding because that's going to help your body and your mind feel more regulated. And then in terms of a broader term of grounding, we talk about nervous system regulation, which is another thing that I deeply recommend, is doing nervous system regulation on a daily basis, not only when you're triggered. So nervous system regulation is when we're regulating your vagus nerve, and it's regulating your system, your nervous system, so that you don't get burnt out, stressed out, and you don't feel this overarching physical reactivity, right? And I would say this is probably the most important thing you can do. And people always have this misconception that, I need to meditate for 5 hours a day for it to work. No, you don't. You can literally do 5 minutes a day of nervous system regulation, and it's going to help you. Nervous system regulation includes things like grounding, EFT tapping, meditation. There's nervous system, vagus nerve soothing exercises that you can do. I have some on my TikTok page as well. Just pick one thing that you can do 5 minutes a day, 2 minutes in the morning, 2 minutes at night. And what'll happen is you're actually regulating your baseline nervous system. So it's actually going to be more regulated so that when you are triggered by seeing the news or seeing another layoff, you're going to react not as intensely. Your level of dysregulation isn't going to go up as high because you've already been regulating your nervous system. And then when you are triggered or you do have something, you can pull that nervous system regulation tool out and use that to actually help you in the moment as well. I absolutely love nervous system regulation. I just think it's so important. This kind of goes into what we've been talking about, but sort of looking at your body over your mind. A lot of times we talk about our mind and sort of being in our head and what we can do to release things in our head. But actually, I've been reading a lot about this, and I just talked to someone who's an embodiment coach. She'll be on the podcast next week, which I'm super excited about. And we talk a lot about how we can actually let go in our physical body. So things like feeling your feelings, don't try to push them down, yell into a pillow, make noises, grunting noises, cry. Do what you need to do that feels good in your body. Dance it off, shake it off. Like those are actually things you can do to help release your emotions and release your feelings in your body, not just in your mind. This has been something that I feel like is super, super important. And then the next thing is protecting your morning and evening routine. We kind of talked about this, but just making sure that you don't let the chaos in first thing in the morning and, last thing before you go to sleep. That's really, really important. This is where it's going to be important to create routines. The reason we create routines is because it creates safety for your mind and for your body, right? You're telling yourself, okay, we have a safe place to start out with in the morning and we have a safe place to end with, regardless of what happens during the day, right? This is when you have time to regulate. This is when you are not consuming media. And this is something that hopefully you enjoy doing. And it gives you those few pockets of joy during the day that you know you're going to have. It really just creates a safety net for yourself and really tells your body that it's safe, which is super important. The next thing is social media boundaries. So we've talked about this, but I really, really just want to drive this home is like you wouldn't let someone into your home just randomly. So why are you going to let social media into your brain? Set boundaries around social media, whether it's setting timers of how long you're on, turning off your notifications, which we talked about, setting boundaries of when you will be on social media. Don't let social media control you. You need to control social media. That's how it can be done in a healthy way, because social media, the internet, all of these things can be super healthy and really helpful and entertaining and fun, but only if you're the one in control and you're setting boundaries. It's extremely, extremely important. And then the next thing is having energy hygiene after being online. So something that I've been doing, which I think is super helpful, and especially for those of you that work from home or just you're on like your laptop or phone a lot, is after you're done being online, which can sometimes feel kind of gloomy and like you just drained, is do a small reset, okay? Especially those of you that work from home and you don't leave the office, it's often very hard to feel that like reset, like you're moving into the next part of your day. So this is a really good time to do nervous system regulation, like a breathing exercise, going outside for a walk, taking a shower, cleansing yourself energetically from whatever your day was, and then moving into the next phase of your day. I love having like energy hygiene and just having a cleanse when we're moving from one space to the other. And then the last thing is choosing small joys in your life on purpose, okay? And this ties into having the morning and the night routine, but also throughout the day is having small pockets of joy, small things that really bring you joy, right? Whether it's your favorite coffee, whether it's putting errands on, music on that you love, whether it's going to do fun errands. If I lived in the States when I move, I'm just going to be in Trader Joe's and walking through different Costco, walking through different places. Those things bring me joy. Have a fun playlist. Like just adding these moments of positivity into your life can really help, especially balance out all the negativity that we're feeling. And again, it's just to make you happy and something small that you can do for yourself. So I just want to end on saying that these are all things that I would consider as like protecting your peace, and protecting your peace is not selfish. And anyone who tells you that is jealous or doesn't really know, probably doesn't have a regulated nervous system, probably isn't feeling good in themselves. Protecting your peace isn't selfish. It's how you're staying in a place of joy and calm so that you can participate in things, so you can volunteer, so you can show up for your community, right? Because if you do not protect your peace, you're going to be burned out and stressed out, and then you won't be able to support those who actually need help and support. So that's a good way to think about it. Obviously, I talked about a lot of things today, so just pick like one or two things that really resonated with you and then see if you can start adding them in. See if you can start adding them, see how they feel, see how they resonate, and then you can add more as the time goes. I hope you loved this episode. I definitely think it was a long time coming with everything going on. If you loved it, I would really appreciate a 5-star review wherever you are listening to this. And also don't forget to subscribe if you're on YouTube. I hope you all have an amazing, fabulous week. Happy summer, Cancer season, and I'll catch you in the next episode.